It's easy to start a war, but what about the cleanup? That's going to be the hard part now that the US and Iran have signed a deal, because the world's most important oil choke point is a mess. The Strait of Hormuz is still rife with risk. Now Europe is stepping up with a possible naval mission to help out, without a direct invitation from either side. German ships are already en route, ready to play a vital role if the mission goes ahead.
Even though we have somewhat of a peace deal, there are more unknowns than knowns about the future of the Strait of Hormuz.
Still blocked? That's Nithya Lab, an expert on maritime security at Chatham House.
It's hard to see how insurance companies or ships would be willing to transit again. Each cargo ship can be worth, around $300 million. Without insurance, it's too risky for any ship to transit without potential protection.
Why is that? Three main risks remain. For one, the conflict could flare up again. Then there's the black box that is the Strait of Hormuz right now. To avoid being targeted or to evade sanctions enforcement, ships transiting the strait have been turning off their tracking transponders, so they can't be detected.
At the same time, illegal or sanctioned ships that transit through these waterways also turn off their AIS. It means that legally or illegally, these ships have almost no visibility over the waterway.
And another pressing question is, are there or aren't there sea mines hidden in the strait? Iran has indicated that it has placed sea mines in parts of the Strait of Hormuz. It's not fully confirmed, but the risk alone is enough to stop insurers from covering transits and ships from sailing. Let's dive into that some more. There are three types of sea mines: floating ones, moored mines, those chained to the seabed and suspended below the surface, and bottom ones on the seafloor.
According to Iran, they've placed what's called the Maham 3 and Maham 7 sea mines. We also have some indications from the Omani Maritime Security Agency that as of May 30th, they've detected some floating mines on the water. Floating mines are a lot more dangerous because they can be carried with the currents and they can be set off by almost anything. So it's hard to detect or see them, especially the ones that exist below the water.
What could a mission look like? Someone needs to clear the mines and also secure the waterways in the near future. France and the UK signaled their readiness as early as March. Together with about 20 other nations, they've been working on a coalition that could help restore safe passage through the strait. Some analysts see it as an attempt to demonstrate European willingness to step up, especially after US pressure on allies to do more.
Very disappointed in NATO.
What would actually need to be done? Step one would be search the Strait of Hormuz for mines and eliminate those that are found. Easier said than done, especially because we don't know enough about the mines, says Johannes Peters. He's a maritime security expert at the Institute for Security Policy at Kiel University.
Laying mines is something which can be done pretty quickly. Clearing mines is something which needs really a lot of time. You have to look for any kind of mine-like devices, be there on the seabed, be there on the water column. So mine clearance is nothing which is done by kind of a standard procedure. It depends on the threat you have, depends on the kind of mines you have, depends on the time you have, depends on the cooperation of the two sides, especially the Iranian side. So will the Iranians fully comply? Will they provide complete information about the mines that have been laid, if there have been any mines laid?
The European coalition also sees its role in stabilizing the shipping industry. In a statement following the announcement of the deal, France, Germany, Italy and the UK said this: "We are committed to playing our part to achieve this in accordance with our respective constitutional requirements, including through a strictly defensive and independent mission to reassure commercial shipping and conduct mine clearance operations."
First, there would have to be the mine sweeping. After that, the ability of navies to provide escorts, secure passage, and provide reassurance to insurance companies that the waterway is safe enough for ships to transit. All of that could happen as quickly as possible.
Why Germany? Germany's navy would be a key asset with capabilities few other navies possess.
Mine clearance is the core capability Germany brings to the table here. We are just very experienced. The North Sea and the Baltic Sea are the two sea spaces in the world with the most remains of unexploded devices from two world wars. So we have millions actually of objects within the North Sea and the Baltic Sea. And so as this is our home turf, we do have a lot of expertise actually in clearing unexploded devices.
German ships are already en route. In early May, the Navy sent its minesweeper, the Folder, from a NATO mission in the Baltic Sea toward the Mediterranean, in case it was later needed in the Strait of Hormuz. A support ship, the Mose, was already on a NATO mission in the Mediterranean and has joined the Folder. Those two vessels are now on the way, with 140 people on board. The Defense Ministry says the ships could be in the port of Djibouti in about 5 to 7 days, waiting to join a possible mission from there.
We want, if it is required and becomes reality, to be able to act quickly and, above all, to be in the Strait of Hormuz quickly. Our two ships will also be accompanied by autonomous systems, mine divers, and vessel protection teams.
For a mission to go ahead, the government would need a mandate from the German parliament, which Berlin says it's trying to make happen before summer break. Even with a green light, the German Navy wants to keep its scope somewhat limited.
We are very kind of overstretched when it comes to our naval assets, so we will not be able to send a frigate or a larger unit there. What can be discussed is currently support international efforts to maritime situational awareness by sending a maritime patrol aircraft into the area, but that's most likely all we can do for the time being.
Ready, steady, go.
Deutschland wird helfen.
Germany will help. It's in our interest that this peace lasts. I've always said if there's a ceasefire or even better, a peace deal, we are willing to secure it.
Stillstand kommt, dann sind wir bereit, das auch militärisch abzusichern.
But that comes with a lot of preconditions that haven't been met yet.
Eine Reihe von Voraussetzungen, die noch nicht erfüllt sind.
Even with the Memorandum of Understanding signed, the details are still fuzzy. They would only be worked out in the next 60 days. So the European coalition is in a holding pattern.
All of the European nations, they had made that pretty clear from the beginning on. They wanted stable guarantees that their assets won't be involved into fighting at all.
It comes down to political will, and it comes down to the risk appetite of these countries. How much do they trust the commitments of the United States and Iran that conflict wouldn't start again?
One major sticking point for a mission to go ahead, both sides, so Iran and the US, as well as Oman, which borders the strait, need to give their approval.
Do both sides agree on having the third parties involved in the Strait of Hormuz or not, which is actually the main precondition for such an operation to happen. If the Iranians don't agree to have third-party support in the Strait of Hormuz, then that's not going to happen at all.
Iran has reportedly already said no to any foreign military presence in the strait. Trump said he doesn't see the need for a mission since the deal includes opening the Strait of Hormuz, but a few boats couldn't hurt. But Lav says both sides have their own reasons to cooperate.
For both the United States and Iran, there is a need to signal to the rest of the world that they are credibly committing to a peace process or to de-escalate tension. For the support that they need from the international community to make a deal, it would be really important that both of them give signals, provide resources to allow the reopening of the strait. I also think, personally, that there should be some involvement with the navies in the Gulf, be it the Omanis, the Saudis, even Iran to some extent. Like I said, the Gulf states should also be stakeholders in this process in order to make sure that it's sustainable in the long term. But these are frameworks that don't yet exist. They would have to be designed.
Any military coalition would still have to figure out the exact mandate of a mission in the strait and how long deployment would last. Germany has the expertise and the ships are already en route. Political will in Europe is there too. But the mission itself is still in limbo, held back by unanswered questions about legality, consent, and whether this fragile peace will hold.